Welcome everybody to episode 6 of the effing title. Today we have our 5th guest with us, and as my scroll here says, it is the man who streams homework. He's headshotting noobs on Destiny 2, and he has the great taste in music. It's Xander, and it's Xander. Is it okay if I just call you Xander though?
Yeah, you can call me Xander.
All right, how you doing today?
I am exhausted. The life of being a parent, you know.
Oh yeah, I totally know. All 7 of my kids over here. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
1, little 2, little 3, little Huskies.
Dear God, let's hope that never fucking happens anytime soon.
Oh yeah.
So why don't you tell? Because of course the people all know me. So why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
So I am it's Xander. It's a spin-off of my real name. My name is Alexander. Um, yeah, I stream occasionally. I have a full-time job. I'm in the Coast Guard. And I'm also currently going to school for my Bachelor of Fine Arts in Graphic Design.
Awesome. So today, so as a lot of you guys know, I let the guests really kind of pick the topics. Today was supposed to be the March Madness podcast, but certain things had to happen.
Coronavirus.
Yeah. So speaking of topic number 1, yeah, so that was supposed to be that. Xander, like I asked him on Friday, I think it was, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, let's fucking do it," So immediately came in, huge clutch play by him. So with that today, the topics for today are the coronavirus social effects, streaming experience, the future of comic movies, and looking forward to. A lot of really good topics so far. Everyone that I've had as a guest so far has had really good topics, and I fucking love it. But as I just hinted at, the coronavirus. What has the coronavirus taken from you so far, Xander?
Oh, if you follow me on Twitter. So yeah, I was supposed to go to the local Comic-Con here in Boston. And I was super excited about it. I've never been to a convention before. My wife surprised me with tickets for my birthday. And then sure enough, thanks to this coronavirus going around, they canceled it. Luckily, we're getting a refund, so it's not
That's
like
good. I was actually just about to ask that because I wasn't sure.
yeah, it's not like South by Southwest where they're not issuing out refunds. That was a huge deal. Yeah, I heard about that. But yeah, no, that's a bummer. And for a lot of people, looking forward to going to conventions or sporting events. In fact, I've seen a couple of people complaining about watching UFC fights on TV, and it's just awkward seeing them yelling at each other, and there's literally no one around to
Oh yeah,
watch.
well that was one of the things like I put up on my Facebook at one point that like I would love the NBA to be playing right now just because could you imagine LeBron dunking, looking in the crowd, slapping his chest, and no one's there? Like one of the things that I was wanted to say was that like I want to see it happen in the pro basketball scene simply because I think the game would be better.
Well, I mean, those guys probably do that on like like a random Sunday when they're just playing ball with their boys and just like, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
No one else is watching, but
It's crazy the fact that it's gone through like literally it's almost like that Grim Reaper meme where it's like
yeah.
taking down like it's like just taking down door after door, just every
Mhm.
sport one after another. I thought wrestling was going to get away with it. Nope.
No.
Apparently the I think it's the mayor in where they're going to be hosting Mania was like if you don't cancel it, we'll cancel it.
Right.
It's like fuck me. I think
Well,
you
it's just the domino effect because, for on one hand, it's a business. They're like, "Oh, we want to keep this going. We want to entertain people. We want people to see this and enjoy it." But at the same time, you got to think like if we keep this going, then there's a chance that one person who may not be exhibiting any symptoms could pass it on to someone else, and then boom, there goes their symptoms flare up, and then they're passing it on and passing it on, passing it
right,
on.
and
It's
that's like the crazy thing. As like one of the other things, and like of course it's the kind of like black sheep not to talk about, but the hysteria of it. Like apparently, I'm going to put it in quotations. There's 2 cases in Vermont. I've heard that we don't even have enough fucking tests for people. So how the fuck do 2 people in Vermont have it?
I don't know.
Like I feel like it's one of those things where it's the typical thing of we have too much social media, right?
Mhm.
And it's one of those things where like people are like coughing, okay, this, okay, yep, they have it.
Yep.
you know. And yeah, Big John, I get what you're saying with travel, but like still, I find it hard to believe. You know, like, and I'm not saying that I'd find it hard to believe everywhere. I find it hard to believe right here in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont, where there's fucking no one around if I threw a rock. You know.
Yeah, I remember a bunch of my coworkers were saying, he's just like, "Hey, I heard Maine doesn't have anything. Let's just go over there."
Well, like, and that's
Um,
like that's the common joke that I've kind of been doing. Well, not joke,
yeah,
but I've been saying is that like every horror movie, every zombie movie, every end of world apocalypse movie, where's the few places that live and like there's a colony waiting for people? It's
the
fucking
places
Vermont.
where there's nowhere.
Yeah, it's fucking
Yep,
like literally. I Am Legend. Thank you,
yep.
John, because
I
I was
agree.
struggling with it in my head. I Am Legend. Vermont is the safe haven.
Maine has like 8 cases now. Yeah,
Yeah. See, I mean, it's
yeah.
it's
I think they officially announced that their first case like maybe 3, 4 days ago, and then just last night, Cape Cod, we just
Jesus.
got a case.
I was gonna say I saw that you posted. I saw you posted that one. I
Yeah,
just it's crazy to me, and it's one of those things where one of my friends put up something about it on one of my football buddies put up something about it on Facebook, and I don't agree with him because not with him. A lot of stuff he puts up is very political, and that's the
right.
last topic I'm fucking getting into. But he put up one about it, and he's like, so what? There's just no cure. And it's like, yeah, it's like the flu. There's no like real cure for it. You can get vaccinated, and
Right.
but like if you
Well, a year
haven't,
from now.
yeah, it's just the whole thing's crazy. The fact that and of course, the fact that it came in like kind of so fast, and now it's just,
Mhm. I was looking into it. Apparently, so it was originally found in 2019, hence
mm-hmm.
COVID-19. And I believe they were doing their best to sort of contain it, and then it just kind of flared up.
So one of the ones that my father was talking about him, and my dad is very, very political with a lot of his stuff that he talks about. So
Mhm,
I took it with a grain of salt. But he was saying that basically, yes, it started in 2019, but China didn't want it to kind of get out. That like there
mhm.
was this like virus, so they kind of kept it under wraps and just kind of were doing their thing and hoping to God that it doesn't spread and that sort of thing. And now we have no sports.
Yeah. And then that's another thing that I wanted to touch on with this is that not just like sporting events and stuff like that, and like things that you could actually go to and enjoy, but even things that could potentially come to streaming services, like
hmm
where you don't need to leave the safety of your house, but we won't be able to enjoy because they're being delayed, like movies
Yep.
and all that. They're like left and right. I'm seeing like Fast and Furious getting delayed because no one's going to be out at the theater to see it.
Wonder Woman 84 might get delayed.
Yep, that's
Yeah,
gonna be delayed, like, so
it's
many other
just
movies that are slated to come out next year and the year after are being delayed a year or 2 because they don't wanna meet up to film.
exactly. It's just it's
And
it's
it's
it's really crazy, kind of like how you said earlier. You said domino effect, the domino effect, but not just with
Mhm,
sports, with everything. Because like I
yeah,
was looking online, I was looking just kind of looking around. I think it was Yahoo maybe. And one of the things it was talking about was like how NBA players are finding release and other forms of entertainment by streaming on Twitch. And I'm sitting there like, well, no shit, they've been fucking doing that the whole season. It's
right.
like you're just gonna bring it up now because you can, but it's like
Yeah,
it's a little crazy. I mean, especially like well, I mean, NBA was the first big one. NBA went, MLB, like basketball went, soccer went, hockey went. Everybody was kind of hoping that the XFL would just kind of like be like, fuck you, we're gonna keep going. You guys are idiots for we get the money now, like that sort of
right.
thing. Nope, they fucking went. Wrestling went. UFC is like right now. UFC is the one that's like we're gonna keep doing what we do.
Yeah,
You know, um, and then it's like yeah, like I saw TwitchCon in Germany. I think it was got canceled.
mhm.
TwitchCon here, I think it's been canceled or delayed.
Last time I checked, I think they were talking about delays.
Delays, okay.
Yeah,
So
but
like,
that was a while ago.
but still, like you have that, you have like you said, the Comic Con there over there, that got delayed, and like the big
Mhm.
thing, the big one that I wanted to talk about because this is like people acting dumb,
Yeah.
like
"Hey, you
it's
got that toilet paper?
yeah, that's the thing, right?
You
It's like
you got that you got that You got that 2-ply.
Yeah, like I'm selling fucking baggies of fucking hand sanitizer, $10 for 10 pumps. It's like, it's just like
Yeah,
what the
see, now
fuck
I'm
is
shooting
wrong with
myself in the
people?
foot for not saving those Chinese restaurant takeout menus that are left at my door. I'm gonna need those in a couple of weeks.
Well, like that's one of the things that like I saw someone online post something about like, well, how are we supposed to get food, and like this and that. And I'm sitting there like, hey, I got freshly delivering to me now, so like I ain't got to worry about that shit. But
Yeah.
no, it's just like there was one that I saw online. Mind you, it's on the internet, so God knows how fucking true it is.
Yeah, take it with
But
a huge grain of salt.
but it was basically saying like that, like it was a bunch of old people in it was like an old man and woman in a car, and they were waiting for like as people were walking by, asking them if they would go in and buy them stuff because they didn't want to get out of the car and go in to buy stuff and potentially get hurt trying to buy something they need, or
Hmm.
because they know it affects elderly people get affected and die basically. And I'm sitting
Right.
like, and of course, like I said, on the internet, grain of salt, but like. We are fucking terrible as human beings, and like it wouldn't surprise me if that's fucking happened somewhere.
Oh yeah. No.
And it's fucking ridiculous. I
Yeah,
mean,
and it was kind of funny too because I finally got a chance to get the TV away from my daughter, and I was watching the news. And this reporter actually is like coming up to people at the grocery store and just ask the right questions, like, so why are you buying up all this toilet paper? And to be told, and this person straight up was just like, I don't really know, but everyone's buying it and I'm not gonna be caught without it. I got a 3-year-old at home. I was just like, oh damn.
at
Okay.
least I mean, it's kind of like
I'm just hoping that Amazon has like their stock because a while ago, me and my wife decided those items like toilet paper, paper towels, stuff that is like a reoccurring purchase on
mhm.
our grocery list. We decided to go ahead and subscribe it on Amazon.
That's smart.
So I'm hoping that Amazon has some sort of like stock saved for those who have signed up for subscriptions and stuff like that, so that they can continue on with that.
What did
Because
you?
if I get an email
Oh
saying,
my
"Oh,
god!
we're gonna have to skip because it's on
By the
back order,"
way,
I'm gonna be like, "All right, break out those Chinese takeout menus."
rip. One of the ones I saw. Did you see the kid that went out and bought like as soon as like this started happening, he went out and bought like 15,000 things of hand sanitizer.
Okay, that's another thing I want to touch on. Hand sanitizer is not gonna do much of anything at
Well, and
all.
also, if you hoard all of it, how are everyone else supposed to have clean hands?
Exactly. Exactly. And all these people like going out buying up so much. I'm like, why do you need that much? You only need one bottle for maybe a month, okay,
Exactly.
for your person. Like an average size bottle, not the travel size, just the normal desk size bottle that you see on every other office desk. That's all you need. You got all these people buying up so much, and they're like, okay, so why are you buying so much? And they're like, do you have kids? Do you have a wife? Do you have like a mother-in-law that lives with you? No, it's just me
Yeah,
and my dog.
it's like
Bitch,
like
like
I've joked about it a ton with different people, but it's like I'm a shipping manager. I handle
mhm,
boxes from China. I handle bubble
mhm.
wrap from China. I handle items from China. I handle all this stuff on a daily basis. Squirt some hand sanitizer on before I start work and squirt it before I leave. Done.
Mhm.
That's it.
Yeah, you're not gonna need a whole lot,
But
but
then also,
plus
I mean, like John has a good one. Big John has a good point here in chat. He says it kills 99% of germs, not so much with viruses.
yeah, if you read it, it says antibacterial,
Yeah, you know,
bacteria,
it's
virus.
just it's
Basic school grade science has taught me that bacteria and viruses are completely different.
yeah, I just it's like, and it's one of those things like I hope everyone out there doesn't assume that we're like making light of the fact, that this is it's a serious thing. It's affecting some people. It's
Right,
killed some people. We're not making fun of that. What we're making fun of is the
right.
way that people are fucking acting.
Mhm.
It's because it's one of
It
those
is
things
very
where,
important to know the actual preventative measures that you can take,
and
like
that's
disinfecting your house. Like today, I went through the entire house, spraying down all the surfaces. Washing my hands after I touch anything. I went out to the grocery store today, and I came back. I took a shower.
oh yeah, I mean,
But no, it's just and wash your hands, soap and water, warm water. Actually scrub your hands for at least 30 seconds. Sing the alphabet if you have to. Um, But
See,
yeah, it's just
well, so of course, now the fact of the my podcast going in fucking different directions. Did you know they changed the alphabet song?
hold on.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh?
Let's detour for a moment here as you
Wait,
said
I
that.
think hold on. I think I've heard of this
So
because
they changed the fucking alphabet song because kids were thinking LMNOP was one fucking word.
oh, yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. My
Yeah,
wife, she showed me a couple years ago. Um, yeah, I don't like it.
yeah. No, like I'm trying to see if I can find. Of course, I don't want to. I'm not gonna play it on stream, but um, basically, like the way that they do it is like they changed it, so like now it's like the rhythm in the middle just completely changes.
Yeah. So you can clearly
So you,
define LMNO.
and it's like you got to be kidding me, man! Like really, this is how far we've gotten now, you
Well, I
know?
mean, I get it. I kind of get it because when we first taught my daughter the alphabet, she literally said lemino.
Yeah,
She would just say lemino. I was like,
I would have just been like,
I
awesome,
would
high
never say
five.
this to her face, but in my head, I'm like, bitch, what? But yeah, no.
But yeah,
Uh,
but
but
yeah, yeah.
back to the coronavirus. Kind of a good segue into the second topic. I do believe that this might pave a way for online entertainment to see a huge uptick.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. And that's where now we get into the topic moving forward of streaming experience. So I was kind of intrigued. I wasn't really sure what to put for my notes here with you saying about the streaming experience. So I wanted you to kind of like lead the way a little bit first here with what
Okay, so the reason I
with
chose this was we're both streamers. We're both relatively new streamers. Um, but I wanted to know like how long have you been doing it, and because you stream a very big variety,
mhm,
whereas I seem to be a little bit more stuck to mainly just FPS,
yeah.
like first person shooters. But I'm a uh huge fan of Destiny, so I do a lot of that. I have a lot of stuff on my Steam library now, but I have rarely touched it.
Mhm.
But I mainly wanted to like kind of like bounce some things back and forth, like different experiences over the course of time that you've been streaming, especially since you do a lot of different stuff than I do. So how long have you been streaming?
So I've been streaming for a little bit over a year now. My 1 year anniversary was January 13th, the day after my birthday. So I'm like a
Okay.
year and like 2 months in now. So
Okay.
I'm like still very, very kind of new to the whole thing. When you look at the big picture of people who've been streaming, I'm still fucking super young
Yeah.
to it.
And what got you into Twitch for like did you actually like start watching Twitch for a while or
So it was one of those things. I didn't know what Twitch was until about 3 months before I started streaming. Um, a kind of a really shitty situation with what happened. Had a bad year coaching. I was the offensive coordinator. I took a lot of the blame. I took a lot of punishment for what happened. Some things came out that I don't want to talk about. And
fair?
eventually they said like, "Hey, look, we're not bringing you back." At that point, I had already been streaming for a month because
Mhm.
my buddy, the guest from last week, Bubba Black Ops, he said, "Hey, we were playing video games. Why not just stream anyway?" He's like, "You have a stream. You have a gaming laptop. Why not just start streaming anyway? Fucking might as well." So of course, back then I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I just kind of was. I was playing Overwatch a lot. I think that was
Mhm.
like the main thing I was playing was just Overwatch and Fortnite. Um, and when I was playing Fortnite, I literally was just like hiding the whole time, like streaming to like one person who was probably myself and just hiding the whole time.
Oh yeah.
And then what happened is the crazy thing, and like I'm getting into like how I got affiliate. It was the craziest fucking thing. So it was like maybe 3 months in, 3 4 months in. It was April.
Mhm.
Um, it was draft day. It was NFL draft day,
Mhm.
and me and my friends were playing Overwatch, and then they said, "Hey, let's play Terra." And I'm like, "What the fuck is Terra?" And they're like, "Trust me, you'll love it." So I start playing Terra. Fucking hated every second I fucking played that game. And eventually I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my clock and I'm like, I was like, the draft's in like 20 minutes, man. I was like, I'm gonna do a draft stream. I was like, I was gonna do it anyway, and then I decided not to. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna do it. Let's see what happens. Over the weekend of draft weekend, I gained, I think, 30 followers. I had a high of 42, and I averaged like maybe 15 people.
Wow.
And it was just like, boom, it hit, and I was like, okay, you know. And then that's kind of when like I started doing a little bit more football stuff. Then after
Right.
that, I kind of fell into a weird spot where I got really depressed streaming
Mm-hmm.
because I was playing Madden, wasn't enjoying myself. Playing Fortnite, wasn't enjoying myself. Playing this game, wasn't enjoying myself. And it wasn't until like the very end of last year, the beginning of this year, that I kind of just said, "Fuck this," and I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And the YouTube's been a huge help with that. And now I stream what I want to stream. I stream games that I want to stream because I like them. If people don't like them, then that sucks. Am I not going to get a huge viewership because I won't play Fortnite? Fuck them. I don't give a fuck. I don't want you then. You know.
I like that. I like that mindset. I like that a lot.
Well, it's just I was literally like, and it was funny because like I played Fortnite with like basically one guy. Of course, I played Fortnite with a ton of people, but I basically played Fortnite with one person for an entire year. He's now in the army. I don't have anyone to play Fortnite with now. So the few times I have played Fortnite, I've been playing it with random people or friends that aren't him. It's just not the same. The game sucks. Like,
To be totally honest, if you asked me, the game sucked from the beginning. But
well, yeah, I mean, I wasn't a fan of it, but I mean, it was one of those things though. Like me
yeah,
and him, we had good chemistry, we enjoyed ourselves
yeah,
doing it, you know. And but it
yeah. At
was
that
like,
point, like any game is fun
well,
with the right
that's
people.
kind of like that's the thing I've been saying with Apex. I've been playing a
Mm-hmm.
ton of Apex. You want to know the reason why? I have 3 college buddies now playing on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of these guys I talk to daily, some of these guys I talk to monthly before. Now we talk every day.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome how games bring people together too.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you know. So like that's my like how long I've been going. Like a little bit of my experiences. So now, how about you?
So for me, I started just before the big government shutdown,
Okay.
which kind of came in clutch because we were kind of worried about when we were going to see this paycheck. Luckily, the
Mm-hmm.
Coast Guard was able to fund the first two or so, but like I really started hitting it hard when the government shut down because I had just gotten an affiliate and I was like, crap, I got to do something to boost my viewership. And probably one of the silliest things. It's actually kind of a tie. So I did in order to kind of boost my viewership and kind of gain some traction. I was really big on bit challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one I did was reach this many bits, and then the next stream, my wife is gonna do my makeup on stream, and then
I think I've seen some clips or gifs of that.
yeah, it was she made me look like a classy hoe.
Mm. Yes, that's a beautiful image for everyone
um,
out there. If I can find a clip of this, it will be in the description.
oh god, if you go far enough back in my Instagram, you'll probably find something.
Beautiful. It will be in the
Oh man.
description then.
Oh god. And then the next one, which actually was kind of funny. Like even when I go back on it, I was like, okay, that was worth the entertainment factor. We reached the bit goal, and my wife would wax my legs on stream
Oh.
while I'm trying to play. But yeah, no, those are my that was my kind of I don't know because back then, given the fact that we had the government shutdown, I put so much emphasis on trying to stream and gain traction
Mm-hmm.
to where, similarly to you, I reached a point where I was just like, why am I even doing this? I got like maybe like 3 people watching right now, and I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. There's a dry spot in whatever game I'm playing. I've done the same shit over and over again. Um, and like I was really pushing to like stream like every night,
Mm-hmm.
which is why when I finally went off to California for training, um, and took like a break, like a 2 month break, because there was no fucking internet out there. Um, I kind of looked at it and I was like, you know what? When I get back into streaming, I'm gonna do, weekends only, maybe one or two here and there during the day, but I'm just gonna do whatever the fuck I want. I'm not gonna. This is going to be a hobby. I'm going to enjoy this
Yeah,
because that's why I started.
and I
I
guess
started playing video games because I enjoy them. I started streaming because I just wanted to share my enjoyment with people. So that's the mindset from there.
and that's my biggest advice to anyone that is
Mhm.
struggling streaming or wants to stream or this and that. Fuck whatever the viewer number is. Just have fun with it and enjoy doing
Yeah,
it. Because if you're not enjoying it, no one's gonna enjoy watching you play.
exactly.
And the people that are like that like hate the games they play and everything. Most of the time, it's an act, and if it isn't an act, most of the time they're getting fucking paid
Mhm.
dumb amount of money. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. If I was making donations like Ninja or Doctor Disrespect while playing Fortnite, yeah, I'd play Fortnite every fucking night.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
if I hated
absolutely.
the game, I'd still do it. Because it's that level of money. You know, but I mean, it's one of those things though where eventually you have to get to a point where like the good versus the bad of it. Am I
Yeah.
going to
Who am I really doing this for, you know?
exactly? So now this is one that I brought up is that I wanted to bring up. What's your worst streaming experience so far?
Oh, man. Probably it's probably a tie. Well, the second one probably not so much after the fact, but, there was one time I was running a raid with my clan,
Hmm.
and I really hope no one from my clan is watching right now, but because this clan, we've been back and forth on a lot of things as far as how the clan is going to act. We've had a lot of issues with toxicity
Hmm.
in the group, which I know that's your thing. Um,
Well, so it's so because I want to I want to fucking clear this one up. Toxicity is my thing, but it's to other people. If I'm playing with people, I'm not going to
right,
be toxic to you. If I am, it's a
right,
jokingly like tongue in cheek sort of thing. To other
yeah.
random people that I don't fucking know and will never see and never hear from again, yeah, fuck you. You know.
Right, but like this is the thing where it's like people were bringing up personal shit.
Yeah, see, that's just uncalled for.
Um, and uh, and a lot of times everyone's trying to be a meme lord when we're trying to be really serious about
Mm,
something, or it's just, and to this day, like I'm still in the clan, but I still have reservations about continuing to be in this clan because of that. But back to the streaming. So we were doing a raid, and it was very clear that the kind of bad feelings and bad vibes that we had previously within Discord were coming to light during the raid. And next thing
mm,
you know, we're now I'm not trying to shout because I'm on stream, but at the same time I'm getting fed up with their bullshit. They're actually starting to shout and start bickering with one another, and I literally just had to end the stream right there because I just didn't want any part of it anymore. So that's one, and then another was now after the fact, I found out it was actually my brother-in-law that did this. But he came into my stream. I had no idea what his fucking username was, but he just started, chatting,
mm.
stuff like that. And then like I guess my daughter had ran past the door or something like that, and it was heard on stream. And he was like, "Oh, is that your daughter?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess she's not fully asleep yet." Blah blah blah. Blah. He's like, "So when can I see her?" And I was like, "Well, if you look back in my videos, there's a cute little video of her singing "Twinkle Twinkle Little Star," clipped." He's like, "No, I meant in person." And I was like,
Yeah, that's yeah.
like like and like I understand from his point of view, he's fucking with me. He thinks it's the funniest shit ever.
But to you, yeah, I
Um,
could only imagine what that was fucking like.
yeah, I'm like sitting here and I'm trying to enjoy a game on stream. I have other people watching, and all of a sudden I'm just like, who the fuck is this?
Mm.
And thankfully he was smart enough to realize what was happening because I just kind of went silent after that. And then like maybe like 5-10 minutes later, he was like, dude, it's your fucking brother-in-law. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, you don't fucking scare me like that, dude. Like I was legit about to like hit up some of my buddies. I'm like, yo, can you like trace this IP address or something? Like,
Jesus, that's crazy.
what about you?
Um, Mine was surprisingly. You ready for this? Is the worst. This is honest to God the worst community I've ever been in on or seen on Twitch, and it's Madden.
Oh God.
So, like, of course, I've done many different things. I've used to. I don't do it as much anymore. I used to do a lot of different things on Madden, a lot of different things. But the worst one I ever had was I was like 3 people coming to my chat one day, no reason, and they just start coming at me. And of course, me being me, I fucking, if someone wants to come at me, that's fine, but you better be ready because I'm going to come back, you know.
Right.
Um, hey, fatty, we can get you a treadmill. Are you sure you don't want a treadmill? Have you tried the Atkins diet? Do you know who Jenny Craig is? Blah, 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 blah. All the shit that I've heard of before. And, like, all of it, I'm just like, yeah, I was like, yeah, I know who Jenny Craig is. Me and her fucked your mom last night, and I'm saying, I'm just, yeah, I'll take a treadmill and run your dad over with it, and all this shit. I'm just, fucking throwing it right back at him. And eventually it gets to a point where, they're like, yeah, I hope you fucking die, fatty. Yeah, why don't you, I'm gonna cut your head off and fuck your head, like this sort of. And I'm just like sitting there, like, I'm just playing Madden. I'm not fucking doing anything. I'm not being toxic. They fucking came in and started doing stuff, so I just started, kind of, oh yeah, fuck your mom.
Yeah,
Hope you die. And I'm
that's
sitting there like, okay, like, yeah, this is a little too far. And it's crazy because, like, I've never had that happen in any other community or game that I've played. But as soon as you go into, like, Madden, like, as soon as I would go in, if I was playing Madden consistently, about once, maybe either once a week or once every other week, I would get messages like that. Hey, you look like a homeless person. Why don't you shave your beard? And then, like, after a little bit, just like, yeah, why don't you go fucking kill yourself?
Jesus.
Yeah, and it was one of those things where, like, it kind of a little bit unbelievable, but, like, it was my best viewership game, so,
Well, hey, thanks for the views, guys.
yeah, and that was the thing. It's like it was back in the time when I was, like, hating what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, yeah, I was averaging back when I was playing Madden religiously on stream. I was averaging 13 to 15 people a stream.
Yeah, but at the same time, like a
I
person can only take so much of that
When that's the thing, it's
bullshit.
like I'll put on a strong front all the time, but most people that
Mm-hmm.
know me know that I'll hold on to that shit for. I mean, shit that happened like a little bit over almost a year ago now, and I'm still holding on to it.
Oh, trust me, I know.
So,
I know.
um, but now this is the one that I wanted to bring up because this is kind of a unique one. What's something unbelievable that you never thought would fucking happen on your stream, or like ever? Just kind of like a like a holy shit moment.
It's not necessarily a positive holy shit moment. But I just never thought someone would go to this length to bamboozle me
Mm,
like this. And this is like right around when I just got affiliated. But and I didn't really know much about Twitch or Twitch chat, and I didn't know that you could change the color in Twitch chat.
mm.
So this person like wrote in or whatever and said donated like $10,000, and I was like, wait, what? What is this? Huh? And I'm smart enough to understand like something like that doesn't
Something.
just
Yes,
fucking happen.
there's something going on there.
Right. Like something doesn't fucking happen like that to a brand new streamer like that. So
Mm-hmm.
I look over at my phone and I have my PayPal synced to it and everything. And typically, like I even did a test myself. Like I donated myself like $1 just to make sure that everything was working properly. So I know that PayPal would send me a fucking notification. So I look at my phone. I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here! Like really? Like, I'm
That's
brand new to this shit. Why would you just come into a brand new streamer and fuck around like that?
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous. That's it's crazy sometimes with like the Twitch chat can either be the best thing or the worst thing.
Yeah.
You know, um, John, Big John, of course, immediately as I asked you the question, immediately in chat, put not only the 2 emotes that happened because of my craziest night ever, but also put in the command because I have a command for it now too.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, you were telling me about this.
yeah, so I'm literally just gonna read what it says and then I'll like add a little bit to it. But
Mhm,
the command is legend.
mhm.
Exclamation point legend, and it says, "Where were you when the legends of Process and Trevor saved the NBA G League stream? Friday, the 24th of the year 2020, when all hope was lost. and the live stream wasn't working. A lone hooded stranger by the name of Process made a promise to get this fixed. He ventured out and found a warrior, Trevor. Together, the two made the unthinkable happen. After 30 minutes of darkness, there was a spark. The NBA G League was officially live. We will never forget the legends of Process and Trevor. So this was the most fucking ridiculous thing I've ever had happen. I can go into the fact that like right now I have 7 viewers. I never thought I would ever have 7 people watching me just run my mouth. The fact that I have 12,000 total views, the fact that I have 400, all these different things that like you could put numbers on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never thought any of that would happen, but this one was kind of like a very unthinkable thing. When I have when I have someone who works or like is around that area, and is like known around there, follows me. I have a NBA player following me. I have the 76ers Fieldhouse following me. I have a ex-Syracuse player who works for the Delaware Bluecoats follow me. I have, the mom and dad of a player following me. And all this happens in one night because I was streaming the game and there was a fuck up with the feed and we were trying to get it fixed.
That is fucking amazing.
It's just like it was kind of a crazy moment that just kind of it all happened at once, and then it's just in one moment, bam, there we go. That's kind of my unbelievable one, honestly, because I just like I said, I never thought I'd have 100 followers, let alone have technically a professional basketball player, DiMaggio Wiggins, following me on Twitter.
Right.
It's like. But
kind of one of those moments where the inner like little schoolgirl just jumps around all giddy.
Well, that's the thing is like the funny thing was like I got off stream and I called my dad. I told my dad what happened. My dad was asleep and just woke up from his nap at night. Yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, and then he hung up and like I did like a reaction to it so I could put it up on YouTube. And like at the end of it, my phone goes off and it was my dad calling me. And like as soon as I answered it, the first thing he just goes, "Did you just fucking say an NBA team is following you?" Like that sort of thing.
It took him a second for everything to register in his TV brain.
Exactly. So it was just like it was kind of a really kind of funny moment. And like recently, one of the players that I watched, one of the very first stream I did for the NBA G League, Rajon Tucker. He got signed by the Utah Jazz, so I became a Jazz fan because of him. Like I'm not a Jazz fan, but I follow because of him. My dad's cousin has season tickets to the Jazz and just sent me a little care package that has a Rajon Tucker jersey in it.
Oh, wow.
So I opened it up on stream. I put it up on YouTube. I put it up, tagged Rajon Tucker and everything. He put it on his story that I tagged him in it, and he said, "This is tough." TUFF. Like I'm sitting there, like immediately threw my phone down, like running around my little apartment, freaking out because an NBA player just fucking like retweeted something, like basically retweeted something I did. It's like,
right.
Yeah. So like, the streaming world has been very good to me. Other than the negatives, even though as bad as they are, with
right.
what was said,
it's like with anything. It's what you make it.
Yeah. When it's one of those things where it's like I consider a lot, like of course, like I say, whenever I talk to my dad or something, because like my dad asked me who was on the podcast this week, which my dad never does, and I said it's someone that's a part of my community,
right?
Because that's the way that I feel about it. I personally feel about it with certain people is like if you're a streamer, if you're not a streamer, if you're someone that's in the channel or I'm in your channel, we're hanging out, we're talking, it's like you're a part of my community. Like, I feel proud. I feel like good to say, yeah, he's a member of the Husky Nation. Yeah,
Right.
So, like, it's kind of one of those things that, like, I never thought any of this would happen, but yeah, it's kind of crazy. But
it's a fun gig.
Yeah. So now, moving on to the fun one that may get me raged up and agitated: the future of comic movies. For everyone out there already, I'm not a fan of Marvel movies. I'm just going to fucking flat out say it. But I'm going to say this. I'm not a fan of Disney Marvel movies. Right?
Okay. That's fair.
I
think it should be known at this juncture that you are more of a DC
Oh, I'm
fan in
100% a
general,
DC fan.
and I am more of a Marvel fan in general.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so the reason why when Xander brought this topic up, he said Marvel DC. I changed it to comic movies, period, because I wanted to bring up a big thing with this. Is that like right now one of the big movies that will be coming out here soon is Bloodshot.
Right.
Bloodshot has nothing to do with Marvel or DC.
Right. There's actually been a huge influx in shows and movies based on comic books that
Mm-hmm.
are not affiliated with Marvel or DC.
Like I was about to bring up The Boys on
Hmm.
Amazon Prime. Um, it's one of those things like I like seeing this happen. I like seeing these underlying ones. The new Hellboy, for everybody that was a part of that movie and everyone that thought that was a good thing to do, fuck you.
I
Like
was really holding on to hope too because I love David Harbour. I love him in Stranger Things, but my God,
I
that
like as soon as they said Hellboy, we're gonna do a new Hellboy. I'm sitting there like, yes, Ron Perlman, Hellboy 4 or 3. Let's fucking make it happen. Guillermo del Toro will come back, beautiful. Let's get it. And then they're like, he's not coming back, and I'm like, fuck you all. No one wants this. And then I saw the trailers, and I was like, no one wants this. And then I
right,
saw the kind of the typical, which is like I call it the Marvel effect because it's what I feel like it is, the forced humor in all the trailers and everything. And I'm like, no one wants this. you know, and
right,
it's like no one fucking wants it. Stop doing it.
right. I mean, I think it's one of those things where okay, so there has been huge success in these comic book movies.
Mm,
So a lot of companies are thinking, all right, well, why not? Let's do it. The thing is, there's a great plan, there's great execution, there's both, but a lot of times you can't get both.
hmm or there's a chance to get both, and there's some like something happens. You know.
Hmm. You know, like there have been so many projects that I've heard of. I can't name any right off the bat right now, but like how many times have you heard of like a really great idea? They have a really great director, and then all of a sudden, poof, there goes the director because the director and the studio couldn't agree because due to
Oh yeah.
they left due to creative differences.
Yeah, I mean, it happened with Ant-Man, for instance. That's
Hmm.
just the
Yep.
first one that comes to my mind because I love Edgar Wright.
Right.
You know, like Edgar Wright was like, "I want to do it this way," and
Hmm.
Kevin Feige and the Mouse was like, "No," and he was like, "Fine, fuck you," and left.
Yeah, and that's one thing because I do enjoy the Disney Marvel movies because I like what they have done
Mm,
as far as yeah, for the more pinnacle moments of Marvel history, they've brought them to like I shit you not, when I went to see Captain America Civil War and I saw that fight between Captain America and Iron Man, and it was almost as if they had pulled the image straight from the comics of of Iron Man using his repulsor and Captain America blocking it with his shield. Like I shed a tear, like a single tear just fell from the because I was like I remember reading this in the comic book and now it's right in front of my face in movie form. This is amazing, you know.
yeah,
And they've done a pretty damn good job of you know pulling the more important aspects of the comics. That there have been a few things here and there where I'm just, you shouldn't have done that.
I
Shouldn't have
just
done that, but
my thing is like it's. I've said it to my friends before. I don't think I've ever said it on stream but I just it's all repetitive to me. Every single Marvel movie is the same formula from start to finish. Every movie is, and it's like so you bring up Civil War, right? And
mhm,
like that one scene, right? My thing that I always go back to it because it's always kind of the typical like haha Marvel versus DC thing. Is there's the Martha scene, which everybody fucking knows of and everybody's made fun of, right?
mhm.
But yet nobody makes fun of the Iron Man Steve Rogers moment where he goes, "But you were my friend. I thought you were my friend." And I was like, "Oh well, I was your friend, but he's my friend. Civil disagreement." You know, like it's one of those things where it's just like for me, like it's there's so many like I said, almost forced moments. I feel And that's one of the reasons, because this is the funny thing that, and this would be a mind blower for a lot of people out there. I was a Marvel fan, a huge Marvel fan, and then I started buying the comics, reading the comics, and then that's when my mind changed. But like I always go back to a few different things. One of which is the ending of Avengers, right? Tony comes out from the portal. Spoilers. If you haven't seen the Avengers, then fuck you. He comes out of the portal. Everyone thinks he's dead. Hulk screams at him, and then he wants shawarma. Okay. So now let's take that base idea, right? And like, yes, people will be like, "Oh, that's in his character to do that," right? So let's take that base idea. So Superman has Zod by the neck. Superman snaps Zod's neck. He gets down to his knees. He does his scream, like because he's upset. He looks over at Lois, and then he goes, "You want to go get shawarma?"
Well, see, I think the big difference is that Marvel has already kind of set that tone, whereas Man of Steel was much darker overall.
Oh yeah.
So they kind of already had that kind of gimmick going.
Of course, now I agree with you that. So now what I'll say is this though. So I can't ever think of his name because he was literally useless in the movie. Ronan the Destroyer, was that it in Guardians?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm about to blow all like fucking Guardians fans out of the water here. So Ronan the Destroyer, the smartest tactical military mind in the entire Marvel universe,
loses to a dance-off.
I'm just saying, if we're really talking here, Chris Pratt starts dancing as Star-Lord, Ronan's gonna look at him, chuckle, and then slam that thing into the fucking earth and destroy everyone.
Well, even then too, like in the comic books, that's one of the things that kind of irked me about it was that in the comic books, Ronan wasn't necessarily a straight up villain.
Oh yeah.
In a lot of comics, he was more of an anti-hero. Like similarly to that of like, the Punisher and other anti-heroes like that. Like and then, later down the line, Venom, which honestly I don't like the fact that they went right off the bat with anti-hero, but that's another discussion. But
one of the other ones is like fucking Drax. I'm invisible.
Okay,
I've been here this whole time.
That's just a lovely meme.
No, I mean, yes, it's a great meme.
I have to send you the picture that I saw is Boss Logic, the graphic designer.
Yeah,
I've
seen the Quiet Place one. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, he made one the Invisible Man.
That came out. That one. Yeah, sorry, I said Quiet Place. I meant that one. Yeah. No, because my thing is this: like Drax the Destroyer. If you look up Drax the Destroyer and you look up comics, one of the very first pictures you're going to see is him shoving his hand physically through. I think it's Thanos.
Right.
And then instead it's like nothing goes over my head. I'm too fast. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Turning Thor from like the God of Thunder, most badass, one of the most badass fucking characters in the world, to we really want to see if he has comedic chops,
which he kind of does.
Well, yes, Chris Hemsworth does. Thor, however, and don't get me wrong, I'm not just trashing on Marvel. I mean, I am right now, but like DC has their own fucking problems that we need to deal with, It's just like one of the big things that I wrote was like big name movies would dominate, and the big name movies are dominated by Disney because Disney owns how much of fucking Hollywood now?
Yeah, that is true.
That
latest acquisition was huge.
Oh yeah, I mean it goes against a ton. Like one of the big ones that I saw with that was the fact that that started happening right as Dark Phoenix started getting underway, to like production.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually had to go take the script to Kevin Feige. So if anyone wants to know why Dark Phoenix sucks and like is a terrible movie, well, you can thank the Dark Lord Kevin Feige for that.
The Dark Lord.
I mean, if there's an Emperor Palpatine, it's fucking Mickey Mouse, and Darth Vader is going to be Kevin Feige. So.
I don't know, man. Like personally, from an entertainment factor, I think that they've done. I like the fact that they have the interconnected universe
Oh, of
that
course.
that
So this is the thing.
actually
Like
works for the most part.
I was gonna say, for the most part. But my big thing with it is this is like, is it entertainment? Yes. So was me watching Velocipaster.
Okay. Okay, true.
Like, it's one
Fair.
of those things. Like, if I'm gonna go to the movies and I want to see a superhero movie, I don't want to see the Ant-Man, the Wasp, and whatever the fuck the next part of it's gonna be, because they're just gonna add another word to the title, or mini Iron Man and Spider-Man, or like half the movies. It's like it's the same thing. If I sit down and watch Ant-Man and then I sit down and watch Spider-Man, I just watch the same movie. That's how I feel. Like, because this is the thing. I don't just trash Marvel movies. I watch them so I can have a decent understanding and then I can make my points. Every
Mhm.
most recent Marvel movie I've watched is the exact same fucking movie. Like watching it and feeling like feeling the like I feel like it's the exact same fucking movie.
That's fair. I mean, I do believe that at this point, I mean, they could have done a lot more with this second half of the Infinity Saga.
Mm-hmm.
But the first half, they are trying to set, these origins and all that.
Oh,
But
and I understand that, and it's just like I don't know, man. Like I said, like I just like the big one that irked me, and like I said, I'm not a Marvel fan, and I was actually irked by this, was the fact that Infinity Wars comes out, right?
mhm,
And like before it comes out, even when they're starting to promote it, right? Like people are gonna die. People are gonna die. Like at some point in the
mhm,
movie, someone's gonna die.
mhm.
And then if you were anywhere close to being a comic nerd or you know which websites to go to, you see that Black Panther just got a sequel. Spider Man just got a sequel.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then they kill those two characters, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, it was so sad." I'm sitting there like, "Bitch, they just said the fucking Spider-Man 2's coming out.
Yeah,
Like the motherfucker ain't dead."
I thought that was hilarious.
Like it's just like it was one of those things where like there was that, and then it's like, cool, okay, so now they just killed a ton of the different heroes. This one's retired now. Da 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 da. Cool, okay, so what's the next movie they're gonna make? Black Widow. Bitch, she
Yeah,
died
that.
too. Like, it's like the time to do that movie is gone. She's dead.
Yeah, that one. See, the only reason I'm excited to see it is because I've always wanted to see Taskmaster involved,
Hmm.
but I feel like this is the wrong way to go about it.
Well, also, I'm going to say
Um,
this right now. Spoiler for everyone out there: Iron Man's in it.
oh yeah, I heard about that too.
Yes, I mean that's cool too, right? You kill off both characters and in the back.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I just like I said, like I eventually I feel like there's going to be a breakdown,
Oh
and
yeah.
that like it's going to be one of those things where I'm wait because of course, to me, there's been plenty of flops in the Marvel universe, but of course, no one's ever going to fucking admit that.
Actually, let's touch on that real quick. What do you think are your biggest flops for like top three for Marvel?
Age of Ultron,
Because I have my own too.
Age of Ultron.
Okay.
That entire movie is played up to be like the darkest Marvel movie, and then Ultron's fucking like, what are those smaller humans? Children. That's it. It's like what the like. Okay.
Hmm.
Introduce Quicksilver, kill him immediately.
Hmm.
Um, I'm gonna get shit for this. I already know I will. Black Panther.
Oof.
Hmm.
But I agree.
Um, well, I mean, great, cool. It's like you know, literally, there's a PS2 fight scene in it.
Oh yeah. And didn't they actually like get nominated for an award for the visual effects?
Yeah,
Like or actually maybe one, I'm not sure.
yeah. And then if I had to put a third, fucking, and this is yet again another one for just me. Either Guardians 2, any one of the Ant-Mans, um, Thor Ragnarok.
Whoa, hold up. Hold up. Thor Ragnarok was a flop for you?
Okay, what do you know what Ragnarok is?
Oh yeah, I know. It's the apocalypse
Mm-hmm.
for um God, what the fuck is the name of Thor's homeworld?
Asgard.
Yeah, Asgard. It's
Yeah,
the apocalypse for Asgard.
it's not just for Asgard. It's for the entire fucking like everything.
Yeah.
So there's that. Everything's supposed to die.
Yeah.
Thor talking about how, like, oh yeah, like I have this hammer. Oh, is it an intimate relationship with your hammer?
Dude, come on. That
No,
is just
no, it's
funny.
not. It's forced humor. I'm fine. I'm fine with I'm honestly like that's like I don't like forced humor. I fucking hate forced humor. If someone says a joke and then starts laughing at their own joke, I look at them like they're a fucking sociopath, and that's how I feel about every Marvel movie.
Oh man, we should definitely go see a Marvel movie together once this coronavirus blows over.
Oh my god, it would not be like I would just be sitting there just like, ugh.
I feel like you'd be staring at me the entire time, just like, what the
Probably. I
fuck
mean,
is wrong with you?
well, not like so like there's that, but then also like, and this is like one of the kids that I worked with. I said this to him like 10 times and he never fucking listened. And he just kept coming up with excuses that didn't make any sense. He got electrocuted.
Oh.
Yeah, did everyone forget about that? Like, that'd be like me doing this. In Aquaman 2, he now has an allergic reaction to water. Catwoman, allergic to cats. The Flash gets sick when he goes really fast. It's like, like, like it's just like, come on, man. Like, I just know. Like, and then the way
Yeah.
everything they've done to Thor, I mean, not to Thor, sorry, everything they've done to Hulk in the entire Marvel universe is shit.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
And I've recently read something on it about Edward Norton. So Edward Norton was supposed to be the Hulk
Hmm.
throughout this entire thing. Mark Ruffalo was never supposed to be the Hulk.
Which I do kind of like Mark Ruffalo's Hulk in some aspects, but God,
See,
they did him dirty.
I like Edward Norton as an actor, and of course, you
Hmm.
look at what he's done since the Hulk movie. He's basically been blacklisted. Weird, um,
Hmm.
but like he's like everything that they did in those movies. Like he basically went to Marvel and was like, I want to do a Hulk movie, and they were like, okay, and he's like, this is what I want to do. I want it to be like this, like this, like this, like this, and they're like, okay, and they're like, so I get to do it? No. And they're like, why? And he's like, well, we have this whole list of things that we want to do first before we ever get to a Hulk movie.
Hmm.
And he's like, but I'm like, it's me and Iron Man. Like, we were the first two. And he's like, no, Iron Man was the first.
Hmm.
You're like a side guy. Like, could you ever fucking imagine that? Like, fucking telling, Hulk, you're a side guy.
Yeah.
You know, I Ragnarok, the story could have been cool, but the fact that they forced World War Hulk and whatever the fuck movie was supposed to be about, and the humor in it, just Carl Urban's character being like, "Yes, and here are my trinkets."
I guess it's just because like I like dumb funny.
See, I do too, but like,
That
if I want dumb funny, I don't want to go see a superhero movie. If I want dumb funny, I'll watch fucking Biodome, Spaghetti Man, Sharknado. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's me, and everyone has their own opinions. And if there's people out there that love Marvel, I don't see why. But if you do, hey, fucking cool with you, you know. But like, I just no. If I want to go see dumb humor, I'll watch dumb humor, you know. But eventually, though, I do feel like there will be a breakdown, and it will be bad.
Yeah, and I think it's coming pretty soon too.
So,
Because they've already hit like the big characters, and they've already gotten rid of some of the big characters. Captain
mhm.
America, Iron Man leaving. Who's going to replace them? I've seen and read the replacements of those characters, and I don't like it. I don't like it
so
one bit.
so my thing is this is a like I think that Marvel had a decent idea of what they were gonna do, and
Hmm.
anyone that says that they've had a plan since the beginning is a fucking idiot, because there have been specific reports of instead of Civil War wasn't supposed to happen.
Really?
It was supposed to be Captain America zombies.
Hold up. What?
So the humans were supposed to be infected with a plague that turned them into zombies, and the movie was going to basically be like, we can't kill them, this till humans, brr, like that sort of thing. And then you know what happened?
What's that?
DC dropped the trailer, like the very first ever trailer for Batman versus Superman.
Oh.
It's the first time it ever happened. And if you watch the intro, if you watch just the basic teaser from Comic Con, where it's like Batman standing there looking up, and then there's Superman just in the sky, and then it shows the Batman logo with the Superman logo around it. At
Mhm.
that moment, that moment, they were like, "Fuck, we can't do this. We have to do something." And that's when they decided to do Civil War. Like, look it up. There's a ton of fucking things saying about that. Like, I was like,
Hold up. Zombies though? God damn.
so think about
Talk
that.
about oversaturated.
Was think about zombies, but then also it wouldn't have been like zombies. It would have been like technological zombies. So they're still human, but they're not human. But they're zombies, but they're not zombies. Like, it sounds like a clusterfuck.
Yeah, who the fuck wrote that?
I don't know, but that, like, look it up. It's out there, you know. And eventually
I'm
they
looking
changed
it
their
up.
mind because DC was like, "We're doing Batman versus Superman. Fuck you all," like that sort of thing. But I think it's going to eventually happen, and I'm going to, of course, DC fan. I'm going to put the blame on Marvel.
All I'm saying is if it gets to a point where they try to find a replacement for the Hulk, like like in the comics, they introduced the totally awesome Hulk,
Mm-hmm.
Amadeus Cho,
Mm-hmm.
Asian kid that turns into the Hulk. Marvel, um, I have some acting experience. Hit me up. Okay.
It's Xander.tv on Instagram. Hit him up.
Yep, what's up?
Um, but I feel like, like, what big movies is Marvel going to be having here soon? The Eternals. No one's heard of them.
Yep.
Um,
I think they're hoping for the next Guardians of the Galaxy
yeah.
success.
They've officially announced the Guardians of the Galaxy will be involved in Thor because you need those two in one movie.
Mhm.
That shows that they're stretching. The fact that they're putting two big names together like that, they're stretching. Black Widow. Honestly, it's like 50-50. People care if people don't. She's dead.
Right.
Like, it doesn't matter. Spider-Man, people are getting bored of Spider-Man now. And then what is there? I mean, I
Let's see.
can
I have a list up here.
I can list off like 30 fucking things that are going to be on Disney Plus TV for them.
Right. Which I think that's probably what they're going to be banking on for the future of it all, because streaming, you have the ability to tell a much more elegant story, a much more detailed story over a long period of time.
Oh, true, I agree,
Where,
but no one wants to see Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier. No one wants to see that.
bro, I do. Fuck, I'm tired of fucking Chris Evans.
You're telling me you want to see Pigeon and I think I'm a good guy? Nope, never mind, I'm a bad guy. Nope, never mind, I'm a good guy.
Actually, I just want to see Baron Zemo. What's Daniel Bruhl,
Mm-hmm.
that actor?
I do like that actor.
I think he's a very underrated actor.
I
I
think
loved him in Inglourious Bastards, even though it was a very small
I'm
part.
trying to think of the movie,
Um,
the racing movie that he was in that I liked.
God. Oh man, I can't think of it either. But he was also on a TV show on TNT. It was like set in like it was like old timey, but it was like they it was like before psychology was a big thing. They used psychology to solve crime, and
Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
it
Yeah,
was really really cool. But he's always been one of those actors that like you've seen him, but you probably don't really know him. But he does a really good job at what he does. So that's the main reason I'm even looking forward to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
okay, fair enough.
But then the whole Scarlet Vision, number one, that logo, what the fuck? As a as a graphic designer, when they came out with those logos, and especially the Loki one, like I
The,
was looking at all these fan made ones before they
yeah,
officially
right.
announced them, and I'm like, the fan made ones were like, oh, this is
Um,
legit, this is nice, that looks cool. And then
Marvel.
Disney releases them, and it's just like, what the
Marvel. Hold up a sec. Let me knock right here. Marvel. Vision's fucking dead too, by the way. Like, I mean, it's just like it's one of those things. Like, I'm getting sick and tired of them making movies of stuff. Like, how many times have they killed Loki now?
yeah, that's right.
Oh, right, because they can make money.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, that's what, well, I mean, that's why they wrote it the way that they did. Like they have that little tagline in Infinity War where oh Vision, you're only like, X% the stone. The rest of you, we built you. So there's a chance that you could still live without the stone. So they'll probably build off of that for Scarlet Vision. And then with Loki, they wrote it in Endgame, where he basically split
Yeah, he
after
deuces out of
grabbing the
there.
space stone.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it makes sense, yes. But at the same time, they're starting to lose that sense of mortality and like that deep connection with the characters
Well, like
when they just bring them back.
that was my thing with the whole like Infinity War comes out and then they announce, Spider-Man 2, Black Panther 2. And then
Mhm.
like those two characters die. It's at that point you've lost everything's gone now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, if you really want that to stick, you gotta keep that under lock and key.
When that's the thing is like they announced it like before the movie even fucking came out. Yeah, we're
Mhm.
already working on a new Spider-Man sequel. It's like
Mhm.
cool, Spider-Man doesn't die. Spider-Man dies in the movies. Everyone cries. I'm sitting there like,
Mhm.
teacher, pick on me. He has a second
Hmm.
movie coming out.
Yeah.
Homeboy ain't dead. And, it's like, and now it's
Yeah.
like, and now they're doing the reverse. They're killing characters and then making movies for them.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm kind of over it now. You know.
Yeah, it's becoming very saturated, but as a Marvel fan, I am still glued to it. I'm intrigued as to what they plan on doing with it, as
Mhm.
well as specifically the Spider-Man stuff. I know you said people are getting sick of Spider-Man. I personally can never get too sick of Spider-Man because he's my favorite. But what intrigues me the most is this recent um, kind of conversation between Disney and Sony, and how they plan to kind of relinquish Spider-Man back to Sony, because that's what it's looking like.
Mhm.
Which is intriguing because we got Morbius coming out
Yeah.
uh, July 31st here, and that I'm really excited about because my earliest exposure to Spider-Man was the Spider-Man cartoon from 1994.
The TV show.
Um, yeah, and that is actually widely known as probably the the best cartoon comic
I was gonna say
adaptation.
that and Batman the animated series are
Right.
probably one and two.
Right, and that's
And
my
that's
first exposure to Batman
I
as
was gonna
well.
say like honestly, it's up to you. Like I'm never gonna rank those two one and two because I loved both shows when I was a kid.
Right.
My thing is this: is that like so people that I work with love Marvel.
Mhm.
Um, well, it's like most people. So of course I'm the comic guy, so I'm talking to their kids, and I'm talking to one of the kids, and he's like, "Yeah, I love." It's like, "Yeah, I'm upset that Spider-Man doesn't have his daddy anymore with Iron Man."
Oh, no,
And I just
no.
kind of looked at him. I was like, "What?" I was like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "Yeah, he lost his daddy." And I was like, "Well, what about what about Uncle Ben?" And he looks at me and goes, "You mean like the rice?"
Oh my god.
Like that's honestly that's my biggest thing is that like yes, they may have the cool scenes that look like the comics, but at the same time though, they have not mentioned Uncle Ben once.
Right, and that
Imagine,
they they they've alluded to it.
okay, the illusion that they had to it was like
Yeah.
literally the briefcase.
There's the briefcase and then, like, the conversations with Aunt May. It's like, after everything that happened, blah, 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 and I get that, their stance on it, I can see that, we've seen the Sam Raimi films, we saw the Mark Webb films, like, the older people, the older crowd, we know Uncle Ben. We've seen that story, we don't wanna see it again,
So,
ki similarly to
this
the
is
Batman
no, I
aspect
mean no,
where they
no,
get.
because so this is the thing, we need to see it
Oh, yeah,
because
I totally agree.
that's who the character is. Without with the my biggest things is that my two biggest problems with the new Spider-Man is one, that there is no Uncle Ben. Two, the
Right.
fact that like the only thing he wants to do is become an Avenger.
Mhm.
When the fuck did
And
that
that
become a Spider-Man thing?
So I followed the Spider-Man cartoons even up till I want to say maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, but like even in the newer uh Spider-Man cartoons, that was kind of the thing that they were going with. I believe it was the one. It was the Amazing Spider-Man where Spider-Man was voiced by Drake Bell.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, he's still a thing apparently.
Hmm.
um, but yeah, like that one, that was like the big like thing where he was trying to be an Avenger, trying to be an Avenger. And I get that. I get that they're just building off of that kind of storyline, but
Well, like, and then so this
what
is the
resonates the most with Spider-Man fans is the whole Uncle Ben story arc.
when
Uncle
like
Ben and then Gwen Stacy. You know,
yeah,
those are his two big tragedies that make him who he is.
and like that's like they interviewed Tom Holland, and they said if
Mhm.
you could bring back one of these people, who would it be? And I think they said Black Widow, Iron Man, or Uncle Ben. Who would it
Mhm.
be? And he was like, "Well, 100%, it has to be. It has to be Iron Man. It has to be Tony Stark, because Tony Stark's so like valuable to like his like who he is and how he is and like who he become and this and that." And I'm sitting there like, the fucking actor doesn't even understand the character he's playing.
Mhm.
You know,
That
it's
that
just
that hurts.
well, like,
That part hurts a lot.
but anyways, enough of me trashing on Marvel. If you want to trash on some DC stuff, you're more than welcome. I will give you
Well,
free range.
well, now that we talk about DC, so I, hopefully they're on the uptick. You know,
Like,
they're
and that's
they're
the
like
thing is
that
like,
they're like that buddy from high school that just got into bad shit, finally hit rock bottom,
mhm,
and he found Jesus, and now he's working on bettering himself. Because when I saw the trailer for Wonder Woman 1984,
mhm.
I damn near shit my pants.
All right, let's
All
be.
right,
It looks awesome.
because like yeah, I've said before, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. One of my favorite things about Spider-Man is that he's swinging through the cities. Like I love that like
When she's fucking
adrenaline
swinging
rush.
on the lightning, yeah,
She's swinging
that's
on fucking lightning bolts, man. Like that is the
my
dopest
thing.
shit.
The thing that I like, and it's the thing that a lot of people seem to not like, is I like the fact that DC decided to go dark, but also embrace the idea of like this is in the real world.
Right.
Like this is happening, and it's one of those things where like it's like you get like every single Marvel movie for I don't know how long, they're destroying cities, they're destroying this, they're destroying that, and there's no consequences.
Right.
Man of Steel happens. Everybody loses their fucking mind because they destroy the city. So what do they do in Batman versus Superman? They literally take them to an area where there's nobody there, and they mention that 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my thing is like you said. I hope they're getting that thing together. I've thought they've had that thing together since the start.
Really?
Man of Steel is one of the best movies I've ever seen, and I hate Superman. I'm not a Superman fan. Batman versus Superman is honestly one of my top 3 movies of all time, all genres.
Wow. Wow.
Suicide Squad, for as bad as it was because the executives decided to change the idea that Zack Snyder had for the whole
Mm-hmm.
thing, it's a fun, quirky film that is it's enjoyable, you know. Um,
I just felt like the plot to Suicide Squad was just very
so
flat.
so Enchantress was supposed to be controlled by Steppenwolf
Okay, so it had like that connection to
to
Justice
Justice
League.
League, yeah. And the goopy eye monsters were supposed to be parademons,
Oh,
and
well, mm,
because the executives wanted to just change it, like the higher ups wanted to change it, so they changed that.
mm,
Then Justice League happened, and there's a whole thing. Just look up the Snyder cut thing. I'm not going to get into that because that would take another
yeah.
fucking yeah.
Oh, that's we could be here for weeks.
Yeah. And then so that happened. Aquaman.
Hmm.
It's a good origin movie.
Yeah, no, I actually enjoyed Aquaman. I
Um,
went with my wife and we took my daughter to go see that one.
Wonder Woman, very good movie. You don't even realize,
Hmm.
like for me, you don't realize Wonder Woman is a superhero movie until like she randomly pulls out this lasso.
Right.
It's a World War
And
II movie.
plus from a musical standpoint, can we just agree that Wonder Woman has the best
Hmm.
track ever? Like
Oh
when
yeah.
you hear that guitar, oh man, I get goosebumps every single fucking time.
Um, I'm trying to think now after that because of course I don't have it written down. Shazam, decent movie.
I enjoyed
Um,
that a lot.
it was one of those things you have to be in the right mindset. I feel for that one because it is a kid turning into a superhero, so you kind of have to put yourself in more of a like, like a ha he sort of
Right.
mindset.
Yeah, in
Um,
which they also picked because I remember Zachary Levi got a lot of shit
Oh yeah, he did.
early on when he was originally cast, but I was a huge fan of his show Chuck.
Hmm.
If you'd ever watched that,
I actually went and watched it after he got announced as the
okay,
lead.
yeah, and so when I heard that he was cast as Shazam, I'm like, okay, I'm not worried about this at all. He definitely has the comedic chops. He has that childlike spirit, that he could invoke, because it is a kid
Hmm.
becoming a superhero. Um, and I think it played out perfectly in that aspect.
Yeah, and then and then we have Birds of Prey that just came out. It's interesting.
I
Um,
still haven't seen that one yet.
I would say go watch it just because
Hmm.
it's
I really want to see Ian McGregor as Black Mask.
he did
I've really
he
wanted.
it is incredible. I'm not going to spoil
Okay,
anything. It's incredible.
okay, because I've always wanted to see Black Mask come to fruition in film, like a feature length
it's a
film.
little bit different than what you're going to expect, but you're like it.
Okay,
It's one of those ones where it's charming at some points, and then it's like, holy shit, that's terrifying at others.
okay,
Um, like my big thing though is it's just my thing with the DC versus Marvel thing is the fact that Marvel got to the show early.
mm-hmm,
Marvel is established.
mm-hmm.
So when anyone says Iron Man, can you list me any other Iron Man actors?
No,
Captain America,
no,
Thor,
no.
Batman,
Oh yeah, plenty.
Superman,
Two, three,
Wonder
if you
Woman.
count current. Who's the original? Fuck. They
But that's
cast her in.
you see what I'm saying though.
Right.
It's one of those things where, and I feel like it's an advantage to Marvel. Marvel has
Hmm.
characters that have never really been done before.
Right.
So when you so when you can sit there and argue, oh, Paul Rudd is an Ant Man. Yes, he is, because it's the only Ant
Hmm.
Man you fucking have.
Right.
Meanwhile, people are like, oh, well, Batfleck wasn't a good Batman.
Yeah, and who are you comparing him to? Michael Keaton, probably,
Yeah, it's like
or Christian Bale,
Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, fucking George Clooney, Adam
Val
West,
Kilmer.
Val Kilmer, Kevin, not Kevin, Kevin
Well,
Conroy.
technically Kevin Conroy, yeah, because
Well, he
not
just
just
did,
voice acting, but he just did the
yeah.
crossover.
It's like so. My thing is like that. That's another big one for me. Is that like there's a history with DC, like a
Yeah, there's
long living
definitely a
history,
much larger history with DC and film, and
and
rather than Marvel.
that's the thing that I think in today's day and age is becoming the negative aspect, because people will sit there and be like, "Oh, we want a Superman like the original,"
Hmm.
and it's like, okay, sure, bam, Superman Begins or Returns with Brandon Roth. There, this is just
Hmm.
like the old one. No, we want an edgy, like like dark Superman. Okay, Man of Steel, Henry Cavill. No, we
Hmm.
want the original Bat. It's like, fuck you guys then.
Yeah.
Like we want a Batman that doesn't kill. Okay, name one.
Yeah, I never got that. I'm pretty sure even, like, growing up and seeing different iterations of Batman, I'm pretty sure I've seen Batman kill before.
Batman doesn't physically just like, I'm gonna kill you. Bam, you're dead.
Yeah.
If it's one of those things
Just
where it's
kind of
like,
like
if you
they
throw,
kind of allude to it, like, how could that
yeah.
guy walk after what just happened to him?
Oh no,
Like,
he blew up that tank that had 3 people in it. They're all alive
mhm.
though. It's like, for fuck's sake, But like, I think
Yeah.
that's the big thing with like DC is fighting is the legacy of it.
Mhm.
Because I mean, like you say, Hulk, it's Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
I mean, and even like Eric Bana and Edward Norton and Mark Ruffalo when he first did it, it was like, no,
Mhm.
this isn't the Hulk. It's Lou Ferrigno, and I can't think of the other guy's name. I'm sorry, the guy that played Bruce Banner. But I actually have that TV show in my apartment.
I think I actually used to have the DVD set for the first season.
I have a big ass collector's box that I've been trying to sell for years that I can't sell.
Mhm.
But like that's my thing is that like I don't feel like they're playing catch up because I've thoroughly enjoyed them. A lot of DC fans thoroughly enjoyed the DCEU. The thing is like I just feel like we're playing we're playing in unfair territory now, because
Mm-hmm.
everybody knows Marvel, everybody knows this and that, and it's one of those things that whenever anything DC happens, other than Wonder Woman,
Mm-hmm.
immediately it's shit on.
I think my biggest gripe with it was Batman versus Superman
Mm-hmm.
because I personally, because yes, I am more of a Marvel guy,
Yep.
but I don't not enjoy DC. Um, the thing is, there were parts of Batman versus Superman to me that felt like they're trying to be quick with it. They're trying to name drop, Flash and Cyborg and all that. Like when they found that flash drive or whatever that
Mm-hmm.
had all of them,
So
and I was just I don't know. It
so
just
that
felt
was
rushed to me.
so this is what happened. So Zack Snyder wanted to do Batman vs Superman, Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and then Justice League and Justice League 2 would come out the very following year, just like Infinity War and Endgame.
Right.
What he wanted to do though is he wanted to do Batman vs Superman, and then I think if I remember correctly, it was after Batman vs Superman, everyone has an origin story.
Okay.
So within the next 2 years after Batman vs Superman, Cyborg, Flash, all of them did it. So that's why they were introduced in that scene, was so that they could have their origin story almost. And then when Justice League happens, boom, you already have an origin story for all four or all of
Hmm.
them. But because of Infinity War coming out and all this, the executives were like, "No, fuck that. We want Justice League now."
That's so shitty. Because honestly, as a consumer, it would have been much more. I don't even care about Marvel having their thing. Let them have their thing. Okay,
When that's
take the
and this
time to build up your
and
universe.
that's my thing, is like, as much as I shit on Marvel, I'm not gonna shit on anyone for liking Marvel. I'm not gonna think you're any less of a person. Personally, I just don't like it. It's not who I am.
Right.
But my thing is, this is like, yeah, when you let stuff happen like the way it should, you get
Hmm.
like, for instance, um, do you watch any of the DC TV shows?
I used to.
Okay, so Crisis on Infinite Earths,
Hmm.
50-year crossover.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You want to talk about crossover? Like, you have fucking Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, in it.
Hmm.
You have an actor. You have like two or three actors from Batman Returns 80 and from 1989 in it.
Hmm.
You have fucking Burt Ward, who played Robin in Batman in the 1966 TV show.
Hmm.
You have Brandon Roth reprising his role as Superman, but now as Superman from Kingdom Come.
Right. Even though he's also already Adam.
Mm-hmm. So like you have the Birds of Prey TV show that happened.
Hmm.
You have
Not to mention
Titans,
the
the
uh,
TV
the
show.
the crossover with the current Flash
So that's
in
the
the
thing.
movies.
So then out of nowhere, no DC fan fucking saw this happen. Like, we didn't like even assume this would happen. Boom, there's
Right.
Flash. So like, it's
Like
one of those things where it's like, when people are like, "Oh, well, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe is connected," it's like, yes, so is everything DC has ever done, and they did it in one giant event, crossing 50 to 60 years of
mhm,
TV, movie, and animation.
right. Oh, one other big thing to touch on that too. Smallville.
Yeah, Smallville. Yep.
The
How
small,
the fuck did I
yeah,
forget that?
that one was huge.
Yeah, just like the fact that that will happen, it was just,
Mhm.
I'm still blown away by it.
And they flew under the radar with that too.
Oh yeah,
Like,
because it's one of those things. It's just like, it's just a DC thing. But then when you actually like hear like, yeah, it's a 60-year crossover event.
yeah,
You know,
it's fucking massive.
um, I think the future of comic book movies though is either going to be really good or really bad. I
I
think the
think
next.
it's gonna find an equilibrium. Um, I think right now we're still in the honeymoon phase
Mhm.
with comic book movies and TV shows. But given the fact that a lot of them and a lot of the more successful ones seem to be the ones that are grounded in reality, like The Boys,
Mhm.
that's a very kind of real feeling aspect where like, oh yeah, it's there's these superheroes that are run by a company. That's kind of like some bullshit that you'd think like, not to get too political or anything like that, but,
Uh,
like, like, "Oh, the government's paying, like, this company to do this, that, and the other thing, and it's, we're all blindsided by it."
yeah, exactly.
Um,
Or like just like some of the shit that happens in it. It's like,
yeah.
it's like,
Like, the whole start of it is personal, like, this dude, like, spoiler alert, this dude's girlfriend got killed by
a speedster,
a drugged
drugged
out
up speed.
speedster. Because and they just brush it off because, he's rich and powerful and blah, 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 and they can just cover it up, and it's like, "No, no, I don't wanna fucking no."
Yeah,
And it's I don't know, I think we're gonna start seeing more of those be successful because people are starting to get a little tired of the overly saturated realm of colorful, spectacular
hmm,
superheroes, and with no actual connection to reality.
yeah, I agree 100%. So then the last thing on the list. Also, congratulations. This is now the longest podcast. Um,
Hey, look at that. We're good talkers.
um, looking forward to. What are you looking forward to?
Oh, well, if we're looking at the topics, I picked a lot of these topics because they are things that I'm looking forward to. Number one, I'm looking forward to this coronavirus blowing over. I'm really hoping that it dies out quickly. To those who have been affected by it, truly, truly, I'm sorry. It is a terrible thing that's happening, but I honestly hope that, by this time, at least, maybe tomorrow, next week, something soon. Just all right, it's passing. I've been told that it is very similar to influenza, where it flourishes in cold weather. So hopefully, when it starts to warm up, it can die down, and we have more resources and time to figure out a vaccine for this and implement some sort of preventative measures. It's a sucky time for a lot of
Mhm.
us, because, they're initiating quarantines in certain areas, and people can't go out about their day, and enjoy the things that they used to enjoy. Um, and I feel like it could cause some sort of ripple effects to where people are a little bit more hesitant to do things that they used to do,
Agreed.
in the future. Secondly, streaming. I'm looking forward to doing more uh
Homework?
yeah, more homework. Kind of better streams because I recently built my PC.
Hmm.
And
Congratulations, by the way.
and thank you. And but like taking clips from my past streams, it's already seen a huge amount of views on like Instagram and stuff like that because I feel like the quality is better.
Hmm.
I can actually successfully stream at 1080p, 60 frames per second. Before I was like trying to cheat the bit rate and cheat all these little things here and there to make sure that I had a solid stream, even though it wasn't the best quality. But I'm looking forward to having some better stream experiences in the future. For comic book movies, this is a weird one, but I'm actually really looking forward to Morbius. Because like I said, I loved the Spider-Man cartoon,
Hmm.
and in that Morbius was actually a big part in a lot of episodes of that.
The one, the one
I
that
love the story.
the thing that I'm intrigued about it is because I'm also intrigued. Two reasons. One, I like Jared Leto.
Oh, I love
Um,
Jared Leto. Love
two,
30 Seconds to Mars.
two. It has Sam Raimi's Spider-Man in it.
Yeah, I saw that.
In the
I saw
trail,
I
in the
saw
trailer,
that
when you walk,
poster in the back.
yeah, that's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Mhm.
So what the fuck?
Mhm. A lot of raised eyebrows on that, so I'm curious to see what happens with that.
Because of course, for
Um,
me, Toby is the Spider-Man. Toby, for me, it's Toby, then it's Andrew, then it's Tom. Well,
so the way I see it, and I think I've heard the majority kind of see it this way as well. I think Tobey Maguire was a great Peter Parker.
okay.
I loved him as Peter Parker. He was
Hmm.
nerdy. He was that intelligent, kind of socially awkward kind of person, which I feel in any other iteration, as far as film goes, wasn't really touched on. because I mean, Andrew Garfield a little bit because he made his own web shooters.
Mm,
Same with Tom Holland's, but the entire time, like when I think of a nerd, and the nerd that was portrayed in the original comic books was that of Tobey Maguire. He's just like that shy guy, like basically me in middle school.
yeah.
um, so that I really enjoyed. Andrew Garfield, great Spider-Man. He was witty. He's a wisecrack. The whole point of the dynamic between Peter Parker and Spider-Man was that Spider-Man was everything that Peter Parker
Couldn't
for
be.
some reason couldn't be,
Mm,
and that's why there's that big wrestling scene, like the whole where he learns that um with great power comes great responsibility, because in the comic books, he wanted to just make a quick buck, and just like do this, that, and the other thing with his powers, and it ultimately led to the death of Uncle Ben.
no, I
Um
was gonna say Tony Stark never said that though. I mean, I just.
mhm. That's another thing about the new Spider-Man that I will say fucking sucks. Not only did they get rid of Uncle Ben, but they don't even say with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, no, what is it? It's if you need what is it? It's like if you need the suit, then you're nothing without it, or something like that. It's something like
Yeah. They,
some
they've
newer
s-
version
they've
of it. That's like it's
they've
yeah.
talked around it, but they never actually said it. And like I remember specifically being in the theater, like just say it, just say it, just say it, just fucking say it. God damn it! Like yeah, it pisses me off. But yeah, I think I lost my train of thought.
Looking forward to.
Yeah, no, yeah, just, looking forward to Morbius, seeing how that goes. Oh, yeah, we were talking about the different
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man iterations. Um,
Tom's like
and
the
then
ideal of both.
yeah,
Yeah.
Tom, I wouldn't say ideal
Well,
of
he's
both,
he's
but kind of
the
like a good
yeah.
balance between,
I'm just gonna
but
I'm just gonna say it. I want to see Drake Bell as Spider-Man. I'm just gonna throw that out there. We've already mentioned his name once. Why not again?
oh, yeah, dude, I'd fucking watch it. I mean, granted, his first, official outing as a superhero on film wasn't the greatest,
What was it?
that
The Dragonfly or something like that?
yeah, it was like the Dragonfly or some shit. Like that movie was so dumb. Like, oh my god, that's a movie you should do a fucking review.
Yeah, I should.
Oh man, funny story actually. I don't know if you might have seen his name pop up in Discord or something like that, but Arsonist, my buddy Billy.
Yeah.
Um, the craziest thing. So I guess Drake Bell was playing um near a uh, some venue that he went to, and he went to go see a band. This one of his favorite bands. He actually knows the band pretty well too, because he proposed to his wife on stage at one of their shows, and they were in town. They're like, "Hey, we just played a show. We're meeting up at this bar. Can you come out?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So he meets up with them, and there's 5 band members, Billy, but 7 shots. And he's like, "Who's the other one for?" He's like, "Oh, a friend of ours that's gonna meet us here in a second." And then they're all hanging out, just drinking whatever. And then he feels a hand on his shoulder. He looks around, and I shit you not, it's Drake Bell.
I would fucking lose my shit, bro.
Yeah, he was like, "What?" Like I legit asked him. I was like, "Did you yell, 'Hug me, brother'?"
Yeah, right. Like, well, I've been thinking about the beginning intro song in my head, and I was gonna start humming it and was like singing it, but then I couldn't remember
Oh, good.
exactly how it started, so I was like, I'm not, no, I'm good. That's fucking funny though.
Yeah,
That's a lot of good things to look forward to though.
yeah. What about you?
Um, my big one's Overwatch 2. I'm really looking forward to Overwatch 2. Um,
So is that a whole new game that they're
so
putting out? Or?
so think of it like an expansion.
Okay, so if you own the
So
original,
basically what it is this is if you have Overwatch and I have Overwatch 2, we can play together. The only difference is that you won't have PvE and I will.
oh,
I'll
okay,
have story mode and you won't. My characters will be updated with the new models with the new look. Your
okay,
characters will be the old look.
okay,
We can still play together, but everything is the old look for you and everything is the new look for me.
interesting.
It is very interesting how they're going about it. Like I said, basically this like their whole thing was like they wanted to change the idea of a sequel.
Right.
So they're doing it as like it's like basically it's an expansion. That's the easiest way of
Okay.
putting it. It's an expansion with updated graphics, updated characters. Like when the game drops, there's supposed to be I think 7 new characters.
Okay.
Like immediately, there you go. Have fun.
Now, if you have the original game,
So
is there like a specific price
from what
for
from
original owners,
what
or
from what I know is if you have Overwatch, you get the 7 characters too.
okay?
It's just there they are. You know. Like I said, just the only difference is there's no PVE. There's no updated graphics.
Okay. Is
So
there a
like
difference between paying for like essentially the expansion versus a brand new game, or is it all just one
so
price?
Overwatch 2 will be a brand new separate game is the way they're marketing it. But the way to
Okay.
think about it is it's just the expansion. So like for instance,
Okay.
like it's one of those things where like if I'm playing a game with you and I'm playing Reinhardt and I have Overwatch 2, my Reinhardt has a little bit crisper shields or like armor, there's yellow highlights on it, he has no helmet, he has a big ass beard and a ponytail. You see me as the typical Reinhardt that's just like shield, armor,
Mm-hmm.
helmet on, battle worn, that sort of thing.
Okay.
It's 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 interesting. I'm intrigued to see what it's going to be like because of course I'm buying it like no matter what.
Right.
Um,
And big question: cross-platform?
there haven't been any rumors of it yet, and
Okay.
honestly, I don't want it to be cross-platform.
Okay.
If there is cross-platform, I want it cross console.
Okay.
Keep PC people away from it.
Well, I feel like you could easily do cross all platforms if they separate it to where,
the
okay,
The
so if
only
you
thing that
want
I would
like
say is that
console
like
only, console and PC, and then you
yeah,
could instance in for that.
the only thing I'll say is that like PC people would have a huge advantage just because of the like you can do more with PC, obviously, right?
Hmm.
Sorry.
Tasty.
Yeah. Yeah, I just freaked out after I did that too. Um, but like, yeah, no, I like give me
The reason I
Apex.
ask is because I wanna play with you
Give me,
on my PC.
give me fucking Apex cross-platform already.
Oh
Um,
yeah, absolutely. As soon as that happens, I'm hitting you up.
oh yeah, 100%. I'm down. Um, next thing is football. I'm excited for football to come back.
Hmm.
Um, next week's podcast will be very, very big football. Um, hold up a sec. Big John here, the head of Blizzard, was
50-50
asked.
split, yeah.
Seems as 50-50 split. Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things. It's just it's the community itself is you know
Torn.
yeah. But yeah, no, I'm excited for football to come back. Free agency starts. Non-tampering starts tomorrow. Free agency officially begins Wednesday. The draft is supposed to be, in quotations, next month. Nothing has
Hmm.
been said about it. I'm assuming they're still going to do it. They're just not going to do the big get together thing. They still do it on TV. They still make a big thing out of it. But they won't do the
Hmm.
big, like, everybody's there. There's fucking million people. Da 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 da, At least I hope they do because that was my best stream last year and I'm doing it again this year.
Right.
And then other than that, man, I'm looking forward to just kind of weird one finding myself and kind of making myself like getting happy again.
That's a big one.
Yeah, a lot of stuff I've done at the end of last year, a little bit at the beginning of this year, was not for me. Um,
Hmm.
and I've started doing more stuff for me. The Freshly thing, for instance, is a huge one for me.
Hmm.
I got my second week order in today. Um, like I've only had 2 meals and I've already reordered it. You
Okay.
know, but like there's that. There's the fact of me streaming what I want to stream. My YouTube kind of popping off a little bit and expect huge um like updates on that within the next month or so. Um,
That's one thing I gotta commend you on too, because I remember even before Twitch, I actually started just trying to upload videos to YouTube. I would do like trailer breakdown
mhm,
videos and reactions. And then like I did a lot of like Destiny videos back before Destiny 2 came out, kind of like talking about like info on what's coming and all that stuff. And it gets it gets tiring doing all the editing and making sure that you time it right, you know, like that's the big thing. Like make sure like you get the video out before anyone else does, or like try and get that information out there. And it's just for me, that's why I switched over to Twitch, because like I was like, I can just do this whenever the fuck I want.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of my thing. Is like I'm just doing the YouTube thing for me is more kind of just as a place to promote the Twitch.
Hmm.
But then at the same time, the YouTube is kind of a place to secure everything I've ever done. Because like there's been series that I've done that I wish I had put on YouTube back in the like when I first did them. I just never did.
Hmm.
You know, and like that's my big thing is like for instance, like Hugh, Blair Witch, Thomas Was Alone. Those are 3 games right there that I played that I never would have played them if I wasn't streaming.
Hmm.
But I did. I enjoyed them. They were fucking incredible. I want to share that with people.
Yeah.
You know, I just got done playing The First Tree. An incredible game that will be coming out in June, I think, on the channel. I found a rare glitch, like a super rare glitch. Got in touch with their creator of the game, and he was like, "I'll get you a refund. Give me like, here's my email. Send me a message." I sent him a message and I was like, "Look, dude, like I'm not doing this for money. Like that's not why I got in touch with you. I was like, I loved your game. I loved what was happening. I want to finish the game." And I was like, and I'm like my viewers and you know the people that are a part of my community that will eventually watch this video, they deserve to see the end of the game. I do too. I want to see the ending of it.
Hmm.
And I said, "Is there any way that you can send me the footage?" I was like, "It's a long shot. Any way you can send me the footage?" He sent me the footage.
That's fucking amazing.
So I didn't get to play the end of the game, but I still got to see what happened. So I reacted to the end of the game. And it's just it was kind of one of those crazy things because like I never thought that was going to happen,
Right.
you know? But like YouTube is a whole completely different thing to Twitch, like a whole different character.
Oh yeah, it's just
Like
its own beast.
it's one of those things like I just like there's videos on my channel that still have 0 views. You know, I post almost every day. Still videos that have 0 views. I still keep posting.
It's working that algorithm, man.
It really is, and that's the thing is like it's working the algorithm. And like I was saying to one of my buddies today, I was like, yeah, I've made like 40 thumbnails, 40 YouTube thumbnails this morning.
Hmm.
And he was like, why? He's like, isn't it all about the hashtags, this and that, and like the tags you put in it? Like, why are you doing that? Like, that's dumb. Like, why are you doing that? And like, I'm sitting there like trying to explain to him, like, I'm literally just taking numbers, like cutting them, putting them in the top corner, saving, undoing, and then doing the next number.
Hmm.
Like that's what I was doing. And like he's just, oh, that's dumb. And I was like, it's like you know, if I'm doing like a random game, then I'll go all out. I mean, you've seen it with the Flash one, right?
Hmm.
But like if I'm doing a series, nobody like people just need to see what episode it is.
Hmm.
There we go. You know, that's my thing. I've really been enjoying it. Jesus, I'm losing my voice.
Have we been talking that long?
We're almost on 2 hours.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, right. You ain't kidding. But yeah, no. I've been enjoying it, but it is a struggle and a lot more than Twitch is.
Hmm.
But right. Well, now that I just said this, almost 2 hours into this, that is the end of the topic. Xander, do you have anything left to say?
Yeah.
You know what to do
Check
with
Twitch.
that big fat butt. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
There you go.
Just a little bit of.
I don't know how you got us to play that music, but that really helped. Thank you. I appreciate that.
For sure, man.
I appreciate you as well. Last second, saying that you are going to come up on the channel. That's huge. I appreciate it. So thank you.
Oh, absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Eventually, I'll have you back on at some point.
Oh, for sure.
But So that's it for the effing title, episode 6. So depending on where you are in the world when you're watching this, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Stay out of trouble, and we will talk to you later. Bye.